Explanation of the book, The Power of Bankruptcy by Daymond John. Introduction to the book. The book, The Power of Bankruptcy, is one of the motivational books that focuses on entrepreneurship and professional success, and is based on the experience of the author Daymond John, the famous American businessman and founder of the fashion brand FUBU, in addition to being one of the investors in the Shark Tank program. The book revolves around the idea that lack of money is not an obstacle, but rather may be the strongest incentive for innovation and creativity. Daymond John explains how people who do not have capital can use the power of bankruptcy to motivate themselves to work harder, develop unconventional strategies, and find innovative ways to succeed. The book deals with the stories of many entrepreneurs and celebrities who started from scratch and were able to achieve huge successes. By analyzing these stories, the author shows how the lack of financial resources can be a motivation to work smarter and more efficiently instead of relying on money as a quick solution. Chapter 1. The concept of the power of bankruptcy. What is the power of bankruptcy? The power of bankruptcy is a situation where a person or company is in a weak financial position, forcing them to be extremely creative and efficient. When you have limited resources, you are forced to think outside the box to find unconventional solutions. Use creativity instead of money in marketing and promotion. Exploit every opportunity, no matter how small, to build your business. Work harder than competitors who have more resources. The difference between quick success and real success. Some companies get huge funding from the start, but fail quickly because they don't learn how to use resources wisely. Entrepreneurs who start with no money develop survival and creativity skills, which makes them stronger in the long run. Example: many startups that get multi-million-dollar funding fail within the first 5 years because they rely on money to solve their problems instead of developing effective solutions. Chapter 2. The Daymond John Story. From Bankruptcy to Success. The author shares his personal journey to show how he used the power of bankruptcy to his advantage. A difficult childhood and growing up in poverty. He grew up in a poor neighborhood in Queens, New York. He had no financial resources or a strong network to support him. He had to work several jobs at a young age to help his mother. The beginning of FUBU with only $40. He started his business selling hats and shirts with little capital. He had no money for advertising, so he resorted to innovative ways to promote his brand. He used indirect marketing by convincing celebrities to wear his products, which helped him spread. So, achieving success despite obstacles. After years of hard work, FUBU became a global brand valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. He later used his creative thinking style in his investments on Shark Tank. Chapter 3. Success Stories of Entrepreneurs Who Use the Power of Bankruptcy. 1. Kevin Plank, founder of Under Armour. He started his business manufacturing sportswear with little capital. He sold clothes from the trunk of his car because he didn't have a store. Use creative marketing to reach professional athletes. 2. Sophia Amoruso, founder of Nasty Gal. She started her business selling used clothes on eBay. She didn't have the money to set up a physical store, so she used the internet to spread her brand. Years later, she was running a multi-million-dollar company. 3. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, founders of Apple. They started their business in a small garage with no funding. They didn't have the money to build high-end computers, so they came up with clever ways to cut costs. They later became some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. Chapter 4. Strategies for Harnessing the Power of Bankruptcy to Build a Successful Business. 1. Marketing without a big budget. A. Leveraging social media. Create engaging content on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Interact directly with your audience to build brand loyalty. Utilize viral marketing to get customers to promote the product themselves. B. Collaborating with influencers. Instead of paying huge amounts for ads, you can convince influencers to use a product and post it onto their accounts. 2. Smart financing without huge loans. A. Financing the project from early profits. Reinvesting profits in developing the product instead of looking for investors. B. Crowdfunding. Using platforms like Kickstarter and GoFundMe to raise money from the public. Chapter 5. Practical Lessons from the Power of Bankruptcy. 1. Don't wait for the perfect resources. Start with what you have. Many people postpone starting their projects on the pretext that they don't have enough money. The book confirms that the best entrepreneurs started from scratch and took advantage of any resources available to them. 2. Invest in skills, not money. Instead of looking for huge funding, focus on developing your skills in marketing, creativity, and business management. 3. Be prepared to fail and adapt to challenges. Failure is part of the journey to success, but the most important thing is to learn from mistakes and adapt quickly. Chapter 6. Critical Analysis of the Book. Strengths. Inspiring Stories. The book contains many real-life examples that give the reader a sense of possibility and motivation. Practical tips. The author provides clear strategies that anyone can apply. Simple and easy style. Daymond John writes in a straightforward and easy-to-understand manner. Weaknesses. Focuses only on success. The book does not discuss much about projects that failed despite following the same principles. May not be suitable for all types of projects. Some areas require an initial financial investment that cannot be avoided. Conclusion. Why should you read this book? If you want to start your own business but feel that lack of money is holding you back, this book will change the way you think. The Power of Bankruptcy teaches you how to use your resources in a smart way, how to turn obstacles into opportunities, and how to use creativity and strategic thinking to achieve success. Final message. Money is not the main factor in success, but creativity, commitment, and hard work are what make the difference. If you suffer from lack of resources, know that you have the power of bankruptcy that may push you to succeed more than anyone else. The Power of Bankruptcy is full of real-life stories of people who started from scratch and achieved great success despite having little money. Here are some important stories that Daymond John mentions in the book. 1. Daymond John's own story. How did he build FUBU with $40? Simple beginnings. Daymond John grew up in Queens, New York, in a poor environment. He had no capital or strong connections in the fashion world. In 1992, he started selling wool hats that he made himself, using a sewing machine that he borrowed from his mother. His initial capital was only $40. Smart marketing without a budget. He didn't have money for advertising, so he gave some hats to rapper LL Cool J, who wore them on a TV show. When he noticed that people started talking about his brand, he continued to promote it through celebrities in an indirect way. Big success. As the product continued to spread, Daymond decided to turn his house into a small factory where he would make the shirts himself and sell them from his car. Later, he got a partnership deal with Samsung, which helped him expand his brand. Today, FUBU is valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. 2. Kevin Plank. How Under Armour started in the trunk of his car? Humble beginnings. Kevin Plank, the founder of Under Armour, didn't have enough money to start a luxury sportswear company. He started his business by selling sports shirts made of special materials that quickly absorb sweat, selling from the trunk of his car. He didn't have a store or an advertising budget, so he would travel around the United States in his car to sell his products directly to athletes. He would carry samples of shirts in his trunk and meet with players and coaches to convince them to try the product. Big success. Thanks to the unique design of the product, orders began to increase, and he later received financial support that helped him expand his brand. Today, Under Armour is one of the biggest brands in sportswear, competing with giants like Nike and Adidas. 3. Sophia Amoruso, from selling used clothes to millionaire, starting on eBay. Sophia Amoruso had no money or business experience, but she loved fashion. She started buying used clothes from cheap stores and reselling them on eBay at higher prices after redesigning and photographing them in an attractive way. Using smart marketing without money, she took distinctive photos of the clothes and wrote attractive descriptions of the products, which made her store grow quickly. She used social media to attract customers without having to spend any money on advertising. And major success. After her success on eBay, she founded her brand, Nasty Gal, which turned into a multi-million-dollar company. Her story has become a model for entrepreneurship based on creativity rather than big capital. Or waiting for Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, building Apple in a small garage. Starting in a garage. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak didn't have enough money to start a big tech company. They started designing their first computer in Jobs' garage using cheap electronic parts. Smart marketing. They didn't have money for advertising, so they promoted their device directly to programmers and tech enthusiasts. They relied on their network to sell the first devices and attract investors. Great success. Today, Apple is one of the largest companies in the world, valued at billions of dollars. 5. Daymond John on Shark Tank. Investing in small businesses. After Daymond John became an investor on Shark Tank, he began supporting entrepreneurs who lacked financial resources but had strong ideas. One of the successful projects he invested in. A young man started a project to sell flavored snowballs from a small kiosk and was able to turn his simple idea into a big project thanks to the exploitation of smart marketing. Lessons learned from these stories. 1. You don't need money to start, you need a strong idea and creativity. Most of the entrepreneurs in these stories didn't have money, but they used innovative ways to succeed. 2. Creative marketing is more important than a big budget. Instead of spending money on advertising, these people focused on smart promotion of their brands. 3. Taking advantage of small opportunities can lead to big success. Giving a free hat to a rapper like LL Cool J helped Daymond John launch FUBU. Selling clothes from the trunk of a car helped Kevin Plank build Under Armour. 4. Patience and perseverance are more important than capital. Success was not instant for any of these people, but took years of hard work and failed experiments. Conclusion. How can you use the power of bankruptcy? If you want to build your own business but think that lack of money is holding you back, think about these stories and benefit from them. Here are some steps you can follow. 1. Start with what you have. Even if it is little, don't wait for the perfect resources. Use what you have now. 2. Get creative with your marketing. Use social media, collaborate with influencers, and free promotion. 3. Take advantage of every small opportunity, even if it seems insignificant. It may be the key to your success. 4. Don't be afraid of failure. All successful entrepreneurs went through difficult periods before achieving success. Final message. If you are suffering from lack of money, know that you have the power of bankruptcy that may push you to success more than anyone else.